To many viewers, Eustace Conway seemed like a living legend, a modern figure who had stepped out of history and into the present day. He was often compared to Daniel Boone, a man capable of surviving and thriving in the wilderness with little more than skill and determination. But behind that powerful image was a more layered reality. The idea of living completely free from modern life sounds inspiring, yet it also comes with pressures that are easy to overlook. People saw confidence, strength, and independence, but they didn't always see the discipline and personal cost behind it. His life wasn't just about adventure. It was about commitment to a vision that required constant effort. And as time went on, that vision became harder to balance with the expectations placed on him by others. Choosing a different path in life. While most people build their lives around comfort and convenience, Eustace chose something entirely different. He stepped away from modern routines and embraced a life deeply connected to nature. His days were shaped by the land, the weather, and the simple goal of meeting basic needs through effort and awareness. This wasn't a temporary escape or a weekend experiment. It was a lifelong decision. The path he chose required patience, endurance, and a willingness to live without many of the things others take for granted. For him, it wasn't about rejecting society completely, but about rediscovering a more grounded way of living. That choice inspired many people, but it also created a gap between expectation and reality, especially for those who imagined his lifestyle as something easier or more romantic than it truly was. The reality. Behind the lifestyle, what looked appealing from the outside often felt very different up close. People who came to learn from Eustace were drawn by the idea of freedom and simplicity, but they quickly realized that this way of life demanded constant physical effort and mental resilience. Daily tasks weren't optional. They were necessary for survival. There were no shortcuts, and every comfort had to be earned. For many visitors, this shift was overwhelming. The romantic vision of living off the land faded when faced with long hours of work and limited conveniences. Some adapted and grew from the experience, while others chose to leave, realizing it wasn't the life they had imagined. This contrast between expectation and reality became a defining part of Eustace's story, shaping how people understood his world. Life on screen and beyond. When Mountain Men introduced Eustace to a wider audience, it brought his lifestyle into millions of homes. The show captured the beauty of remote living and the strength required to endure it. Viewers saw moments of calm, skill, and connection with nature. However, like any television production, it presented a version of reality shaped for storytelling. While much of what was shown was genuine, it couldn't capture every detail of daily life. The challenges, routines, and quieter struggles often remained behind the scenes. This created a gap between what audiences believed and what actually existed. For Eustace, being part of the show meant balancing authenticity with the expectations of a larger audience, something that wasn't always easy to maintain. The vision of Turtle Island. At the heart of Eustace's life is a place he built with intention and purpose, Turtle Island Preserve. This land represents more than just a home. It's a living classroom where people can reconnect with nature and learn essential skills. The goal was never just survival, but understanding. Understanding how humans fit into the natural world. Through hands-on experiences, visitors learn about food, shelter, and the environment in a direct and meaningful way. Eustace believes that by simplifying life, people can gain clarity and appreciation for what truly matters. Turtle Island became a symbol of that philosophy, attracting individuals from all walks of life who were curious about a more grounded and intentional way of living. Teaching through experience. Eustace's approach to teaching is rooted in doing rather than telling. Instead of lectures or instructions, he encourages people to learn by engaging directly with the world around them. This method can be both rewarding and challenging. It pushes individuals out of their comfort zones and asks them to rethink their relationship with everyday tasks. Building, cooking, or gathering resources becomes a lesson in patience and awareness. While some find this approach inspiring, others struggle with its intensity. Teaching in this way requires not only skill, but also a strong personality, and Eustace's direct style has often been misunderstood. Yet, for those who stay and adapt, the experience can be deeply transformative, offering insights that go beyond practical skills. Balancing old ways with modern reality. Despite his commitment to traditional living, Eustace has never completely rejected modern tools or ideas. Over time, he has adapted his approach, recognizing that balance is more realistic than total separation. While he values old methods, he also understands the practicality of certain modern solutions. This balance reflects a deeper philosophy, that living close to nature doesn't mean ignoring progress, but rather using it thoughtfully. For many people, this perspective is more relatable and achievable. It shifts the focus from extreme change to gradual improvement, encouraging individuals to take small steps toward a more mindful lifestyle without abandoning everything they know. Challenges and public scrutiny. Living differently often brings attention, and with attention comes scrutiny. As Turtle Island grew in popularity, it also faced challenges related to regulations and expectations from the outside world. These moments highlighted the difficulty of maintaining an unconventional lifestyle within structured systems. For Eustace, it wasn't just about rules, it was about preserving the integrity of what he had built. Supporters saw his efforts as meaningful and worth protecting, while others viewed them through a different lens. These challenges became part of his journey, showing that even the most independent paths are still connected to larger systems and communities. Lessons from a life lived. Simply. At its core, Eustace's message is surprisingly simple. He encourages people to start small, pay attention to where things come from, learn basic skills, and reconnect with the natural world in manageable ways. It's not about drastic change, but about awareness. Planting a small garden, learning a craft, or spending time outdoors can be the first steps toward a deeper understanding of life. These small actions build confidence and curiosity, leading to larger changes over time. His philosophy isn't about perfection or strict rules, it's about progress and connection. That message continues to resonate with those looking for meaning in a fast-paced world. A legacy that sparks conversation. Whether people admire him or question his methods, there's no denying that Eustace Conway has sparked important conversations about how we live. His life challenges assumptions about comfort, success, and independence. It asks whether modern convenience has distanced us from something essential. While not everyone will choose his path, many can learn from his perspective. His story isn't just about one man in the wilderness. It's about the choices we all make and the balance we try to find between simplicity and complexity. In the end, his journey reminds us that there's no single way to live a meaningful life, only the willingness to question and explore what that means for each of us.